world, it's Keely and I'm back for another video. This is going to be my January TBR. In 2026, I will be participating in a lot of readathons, like so many that I had to write them down so I can keep track for every month when I make my TBR. The first one that I will be participating in is Diversity Book Bingo, and that one started in 2025, had such a fun time with it. I will link the creator down below. She's doing it again this year with a bunch of new prompts and also some repeats, and so I made the same layout that I had last year, and I know the areas that I didn't complete last year, so I want to complete this year. I'm just so excited for my reading to get even more expansive and include even more voices. Very, very excited for that. I don't have necessarily any books that I'm like, ooh, I'm specifically reading it to meet this prompt. More of like, here's books I had on my list and they will meet a prompt too, which is really cool. The next one that I am continuing to take part in is Horror Bingo. That is one that started earlier in 2025 and will continue all through 2026. I'm looking for my horror board because I just decided that my reading journal is going to be kind of whatever I want it to be. It's not in any particular order, which does make it kind of hard to find things because I don't have anything labeled. Okay, I legitimately can't find my Horror Bingo board. I have not read many books for it so far. Whatever. I have not read many books for it so far. I don't think I have any horror really for January, but I'll be working on that one throughout the year. The third one is Bingo from Hell. This is Wynn's creation from Literary Diversions. I did take part in this one in 2025, and so I have my board for 2026. Now this one you can choose your own numbers when you're filling in the different prompts, so like how many nonfiction, what percentage of 2026 purchases, that kind of thing. So when I did it in 2025, I'll tell you what the numbers will be. Oh, there's Horror Bingo and there's my 2025 Bingo from Hell. Okay, so Horror Bingo, I have only marked off a couple of them so far, but I have the entire year, so I will continue to mark stuff off. Bingo from Hell in 2025. I said I would read 10 classics and I didn't get close. So this time I'm saying 5 classics. I wanted to read 60% of my 2025 purchases. I'm sitting at 48%. So this year I said 50% of my 2026 purchases. 20 nonfiction, which I did hit. So this year I'm pushing it to 30 nonfiction. I wanted to clear a shelf. Didn't do that. That one is not on here this year. 10 library books. I did do that. Library books are not on here, but that will just be happening anyway. 10 TBR veterans. Didn't do that. So that's also, I made it 5 TBR veterans. 5 audiobooks. I listened to 2. I don't believe audiobooks are not part of the new one. And then the finish 5 series, which I did, and the 10 series tracker, which is just to work on at least 10 series that you're working on. Here are the new numbers. So I have 30 nonfiction, read 50% of my purchases for 2026, read 10 first in series, so start 10 new series, 5 TBR veterans, 20 read immediately, which I'm so excited for because as a mood reader, I love being able to just like pick up whatever I want regardless of how many books I'm reading. So 20 read immediately means like 20 books that you go and you get from like the library or whatever, or you buy and you just put down everything else you're reading and read those immediately. 5 rereads. I'm not a huge rereader, but I did reread some stuff in 2025 and had a good time with it. So I do want to do that again, and I will have to for some of my January books. 15 series tracker just to continue on completing series and working on other ones. 25 favorite genre. Favorite genre of all time is fantasy, so I have no qualms about being able to hit that. But I'm also going to count books that fall into other genres that I really enjoy, which is like horror or history nonfiction, things like that. And 5 classics. I'm gonna try to read some classics in 2025 if I can, or in 2026 if I can, but we shall see. The next one, the next reading challenge that I will be taking part in is TBR Spin. I will link my video down below where I give the 26 books I want to read in 2026, and also those books will be part of TBR Spin, and I will also list down below Sarah's video where she announces TBR Spin for 2026 December 28th is when the live show will be, where she will spin the wheel for the first time to get the book or books for January. I don't know what those will be, but it will be something from that list. The next one is a new one I'm taking part in, and that is Ben's Read Good Challenge. He's done this a couple years. I have never taken part, but each month has a specific prompt. And so January's prompt, I actually forgot to grab the book. I will be taking part in that one. So every month I will tell you what the prompt is and work from there. Lauren from Lauren in the Books is doing a new seasonal reading challenge for nonfiction books because she's trying to read more nonfiction. And in winter, she has a whole bunch of prompts. I will be trying to let you know which books fit into all of these different prompts. And the final one that I know I'm doing, I've already been doing, is the Read What You Own challenge created by Ollie. Every challenge that I mention, I will link the information for down below if you guys want to take part. For Ollie's, I said that I would read 25 books before I bought any new ones. That doesn't count library books, that doesn't count gift cards. So I do have some new books on my shelf to show you guys, but I'm not counting them. Like, I'm not restarting my 25. I have it on a sheet of paper here. I am not restarting my 25 because I didn't technically spend money on these books. I got them from gift cards. So that's how I'm doing that. All right, y'all, let's get into the books and I will tell you where they land. If it's books that I'm already reading, I'm not going to talk about those because those are ones I want to try to make progress in by the end of December and hopefully finish them. There are other books that are also on my list for January, but they kind of fall into like a Q1 curriculum, so I will be doing a different video about that at some point. But here's the books that I would like to get to. First one is this one, which is one I bought in January of 2025 that I haven't read yet, and that one is Ursula K. Le Guin's 5 Ways to Forgiveness. This is another book set in the Hainish cycle universe, which includes The Dispossessed, Left Hand of Darkness, those kind of books. Ursula K. Le Guin is one of my favorite authors of all time. I've read a lot of her books. I have a spreadsheet where I track how many of her books and short stories I have read and how many I haven't. And this is one that is my newest purchase from her. And I also have, I think, 4 or 5 other physical books that are by her that I haven't read yet. But this is the one that I want to get to because I think this is the only one that I have left in the Hainish cycle books that I haven't, that like I wanted to read that I haven't read yet. So I really, really want to get to this one. This one could potentially count as a classic because Ursula K. Le Guin was kind of like a classic science fiction fantasy writer. So I might like cheat and make that one account for classics. The next one is the start of a series, so that will count for starting a series. This one will also count for the diversity bingo to read a book where either the author or the setting is Africa. This one is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and I have not read this one. I started it years ago and never finished it. I believe the series is completed at this point, and I think this is this a YA? Zelly Adebola remembers when the soul of Orisha hummed with magic. Burners ignited flames, tiders beckoned waves, and Zelly's Reaper mother summoned forth souls. But everything changed once magic disappeared. Under the orders of a ruthless king, the Magi were targeted and killed, leaving Zelly without a mother and her people without hope. Now Zelly has one chance to bring back magic, striking against the Crown Prince, who is hell-bent on eradicating magic for good. In a land where snow lepenaires prowl and vengeful spirits wait in the waters, the greatest threat may be Zelly herself as she struggles to control her power and her growing feelings for an enemy. Sounds super duper fun. Yeah, it looks like there's 2 others, Children of Virtue and Vengeance and Children of Anguish and Anarchy. Very, very excited for this one. The next one is another one I bought in 2025, and that one is The Bandit Queens by Parini Shroff. This one was on a lot of people's like best books of the year list when they read it originally, and I think it was longlisted for some awards. This one is about a woman whose husband, I think, leaves her, and the other women in this community think that she murdered her husband, so they start showing up to her house and being like, can you help us get rid of our husbands? And that's really all that I know about it. I've just heard really, really fun things, and I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy this one as much as everyone else. The one that I will be reading for January's prompt for Ben Reads Good. The challenge is to read a book that has food in the title, and for this one I am going to be reading a nonfiction called Honey and Venom, which I will have a picture of right here because I don't know where it is. I forgot to grab it from my shelf. This one is about a beekeeper, and it's his memoir of being a beekeeper. And I think it's just going to be so fascinating. I'm really excited for it. And it also fits one of Lauren's prompts, which is a topic you know nothing about because I don't know shit about beekeeping. I'll have to, like, as I read books throughout the month, try to keep a list of like how many different challenges this one book goes to, so that at the end of the month when I do my wrap-ups, I can tell you like this hit this, and this. Hopefully that I will remember to do that. The next book on my list is going to be the second book in the Green Wild series. This is The City Beyond the Sea by Perry Thompson. I read the first book in 2025, immediately went out and bought the second book and then didn't read it, so I really want to get to this one. So this will count towards reading my old purchases. This will count towards my series tracker. This is a middle grade. It is fantasy about nature magic. Just super duper excited to get to this one. Then I have two books that I should have read in 2025, but I didn't. These are for Sydney's Patreon book club, the Nightcrawler book club. I've talked about this a handful of times, but I joined her Patreon, said that I was going to be part of the book club, read the first book when I joined, and then didn't read any of the subsequent books. So I need to read these two before I pick up the book for January. The book for January for the book club is going to be The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow, which is the only Alex E. Harrow book that I think I haven't read. And so I really, really want to read it, but I need to read these ones. This one was the October pick, and this is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sango Mandana. I did start this one, and I got about 30 pages into it and then put it down to read other things, so I need to read this one. And then the book for November was the start of a duology. This is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, Maiden Monster Martyr. I don't know a ton about this one other than that people really love it, so I want to obviously read this one. And then January's pick is The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. So these will all go towards my challenge of staying consistent with Sydney's book club, which I don't know if I have listed on my challenge list for 2026. And I have two books that I got recently from Barnes & Noble because, like I said, I had a gift card. This one is The Funeral Crier by Wenyan Liu, which I am very, very excited for. It's not very long at all. This one is, I think this author's debut novelist, and it takes place in rural China. And it says the funeral crier long ago accepted the mundane realities of her life, avoided by fellow villagers because of the stigma attached to her job, and underappreciated by her husband, whose fecklessness has pushed the couple close to the brink of breakup. But just when things couldn't be bleaker, she takes a leap of faith, and in so doing, things start to take a surprising turn for the better. The concept of a funeral crier is, I think, literally just someone that goes to funerals and cries. I think you can hire them. Is that what it is? I think so. But I fell in love with the cover and just thought it sounded super interesting. And I took the sticker off, but it was 50% off for a new hardback. So this one was originally $28.99, and then I only paid half of that. So I thought that was a much more reasonable price for a hardback. And then the second one that I got was actually a blind date with a book. So I will try to remember to insert a picture of the blind date packaging right here. I was going to do a video for it, and I got too excited and came home and opened it with my husband to see what it was. It sounds so fun. So this one is 640 to Montreal by Eva Jurczyk. I'm not sure how to say that one, but this one sounds really, really interesting. It is kind of like an Agatha Christie inspired mystery, and it says Agatha's husband has bought her a business class ticket on the scenic 6-hour train from Toronto to Montreal as a gift, a one-day writing retreat so she can get some serious work done on her new book, a highly anticipated follow-up to her runaway bestseller debut novel. Business class car is the perfect place to be productive, with only a handful of other passengers, plenty of snacks and drinks, and beautiful views flying by outside the window. But Agatha has other plans for her day out, plans that are unexpectedly derailed when the train breaks down in the middle of the frigid Canadian woods and one of Agatha's fellow passengers dies quietly in his seat. Soon, a pleasant morning in transit turns into a fight for survival against an unknown and unseen enemy. Will Agatha or any of the passengers make it out alive? Sounds like it's going to be super duper fun. I am very excited to get to this one. And then the final one is actually part of, I finally remembered to grab it, you guys. So this this is my TBR jar, my series TBR jar. And every time that I finish one, I have my husband pick out another series for me to read, another prompt. I have a page in my book journal where I keep track of it. And the one that he picked out was this one, which is the Splinter King Book 2 of the God King Chronicles by Mike Brooks. I read the first book, which I don't remember what it was called. I read the first book a long ass time ago and I really loved it, and so I immediately went and I bought the second book, and then I didn't read it. And y'all, it has been so long that I don't remember shit from the first book. I thankfully have the first book also as an ebook copy, so I need to reread the first book so I can get to the second book. I am, fingers crossed, going to reread the first book and get to the second book so that my husband can pick another prompt and we can continue on with this fun challenge that I've been doing, not on BookTube, but just with my husband. Now, as of right now, these are all of the books that I have on my TBR for January, excluding whatever is going to be picked for the first TBR spin prompt. Hopefully, I get to some of these. I'm hoping to have a really solid start with reading in 2026 in January. It is also my birthday month. We will see kind of how this plays out, how this goes, but I would love it if I could use January as like a way to read new books, like new series, to finish up some stuff that I didn't finish up in 2025 that I wanted to, and just get like good solid start on the year and all of my reading. So here are all the books that I have for January, minus some other ones, but I'm hoping that I can get to them. Let me know what you guys are planning on reading for January. Did you read any of these books before? What did you think of them? And how many challenges are you taking part in? Are you also overwhelming your brain, trying to be involved in all of the things? Like I said, I will try really hard to keep track of everything and let you know which bingo boxes I am checking off, which challenges I'm doing, so I can give you guys updates. I hope that you all have a wonderful end of December, strong start to January, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.